just what are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need.
From the narrative, but they underestimated the storm they were about to unleash. The decision to leave Caitlin Clark off the Team USA roster for the Summer Games was already the most controversial move in the history of women's basketball. But new information has surfaced that suggests the disrespect went far deeper than a simple rejection. We are talking about a level of pettiness that is almost hard to believe. Leaks from inside the selection process suggest that before the final door was slammed in her face, there was an offer on the table, one so insulting that it was practically designed to be rejected. Rumors are swirling that league officials considered offering Clark a spot as a glorified alternate, but with a catch that hit right at the core of her identity. They allegedly planned to strip her of her iconic number 22 and hand her jersey number 12. In the world of elite basketball, jersey numbers aren't just digits, they are status symbols. Number 12 is widely recognized in hoops culture as the benchwarmer special, the jersey you toss to the last player on the roster just to fill a seat. It was an offer so laced with disrespect that it allegedly triggered a massive revolt behind the scenes, with players like Sophie, an athlete known for her fire and grit, reportedly stepping up and refusing to play along with the league's messy politics. This wasn't just a roster decision. It was a declaration of war against the new era. To understand why this jersey number rumor is such a bombshell, you have to understand the brand Caitlin Clark has built. She isn't just a player, she is an economy. The number 22 is synonymous with her name. It's on the backs of thousands of fans. It's in the record books, and it represents the changing of the guard in women's sports. For the Team USA selection committee to allegedly suggest she wear number 12 was a calculated move to diminish her brand. It was a way of saying, you are not the star here. You are lucky to even be in the room. This aligns perfectly with the gatekeeping narrative we have seen all season long. The established veterans, the old guard, have been incredibly resistant to handing over the keys to the kingdom. If Clark had accepted a spot wearing number 12, she would have been visually submitting to the hierarchy, accepting her role as a backup to players like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart. It would have been a visual representation of the reality check Tosi promised her before the season started. But what the committee didn't expect was that other players in the league, players who have ground their way up from the bottom, would see this for exactly what it was: bullying masked as protocol. The shockwaves of this decision were immediate, but the entrance of Sophie into this narrative changes everything. Cunningham is a Phoenix Mercury standout, a player who has never backed down from a fight and has often played the role of the villain in the eyes of opposing fans. She is tough, she is vocal, and she knows the game inside and out. For her to allegedly take a stand against the treatment of Clark signals a massive shift in the locker room dynamic. The media loves to paint a picture of Caitlin Clark versus the WNBA, assuming that every veteran player hates the rookie, but Cunningham's reported frustration with the politics proves that there is a faction of players who are sick of the gatekeeping. They see the writing on the wall. They know that Clark is the tide that lifts all boats. By treating the league's biggest asset with such blatant disrespect, offering her a scrub number and an alternate spot, the powers that be are jeopardizing the growth of the entire sport. If the rumors are true and players are quietly protesting or refusing to engage with the national team's promotional narratives because of this, it means the league has lost the locker room. But to truly grasp the gravity of this insult, we have to look at the timeline of the snub. When the roster was announced, the excuses given by the committee were flimsy at best. They talked about experience, seniority, and defensive chemistry. They claimed they needed players who had been through the fires of international competition. Yet, when you look at the stats, when you look at the sheer offensive production Clark brings, those excuses crumble. The decision was personal. It was political.